Welcome to the Introduction to Budgeting, Module 16. My name is John Sample, and I'll be your guide and taking you through this PowerPoint for the Introduction to Budgeting. This is my 5th year as the superintendent for Merrill Area Public Schools. Prior to that, I was the Director of Special Education in Merrill for 8 years. And then prior to that, I've been in the classroom as a special education teacher for about 18 years. So even in my 30 plus years of education, it was up until recently that I was always intimidated by school finance. As a classroom teacher, I only was concerned about my classroom budget. And then as I became a special education director, of course, Fund 27 occupied my time. And it was during those years that I worked very closely with our finance director. And then, of course, as superintendent, that's probably the person that I work more closely with is our school finance director, because it's a very, very important job. And while he has the numbers and he understands the reporting requirements, it ultimately is the superintendent, as well as some other directors that will make decisions that could impact the district for a long time to come. So it's nothing to be intimidated by. There are a lot of moving parts, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. And so this PowerPoint presentation will provide you the basis for the introduction into school budgeting. The following slides contain information, videos, and links to helpful websites. The videos provide brief summaries, while the links to the websites are rather extensive. I encourage you to take your time as you explore the websites. Please click on the first link for the WUFAR overview on the DPI website. WUFAR stands for Wisconsin Uniform Financial Accounting Requirements, and it's used by school districts for their school budgeting. The next link will take you to a short video which nicely describes the problem with school funding. We will go into more detail about WUFAR codes in the next slide, hopefully taking some of the mystery out of account numbers and codes. Building budgets are typically determined based on the student enrollment of the building, but there are other considerations. The age and size of the building might be a factor in determining building budgets from a maintenance perspective. Whether the building is an elementary, middle, or high school will also be a factor to consider, especially for curriculum directors. But most of the time, as a building principal, your budget will be based on student enrollment. It is very important that all administrators work closely with your school finance director and develop a firm understanding of the expectations of your allocation. Surprises are never a good thing when dealing with budgets. And finally, district budgets come from a variety of sources, namely property taxes, federal dollars, and state dollars. Districts usually don't know their budgets until October or November, sometimes even longer with a new biennium or other major factors, such as our COVID-19 situation. Please click on the link to see Merrill's final fiscal year 2020 aid worksheet. This slide is very explanatory as it describes fund, transaction type, location, object, function, and project. WUFAR codes are consistent throughout the state, but the level of detail may vary based on school district preference. Please click the link to see an example of account codes used by Merrill Area Public Schools. This slide provides 5 videos that will provide an excellent summary of school funding. The first 2 digits of WUFAR coding are important as they reveal the source of the budget. Please refer to the most commonly used funds on this slide. This slide shows 2 different types of budgeting philosophies. Zero-based budgeting begins with a zero base, and a district will carefully analyze its needs and work upward to support these needs until it nears the ceiling of its budget allocation. Zero-based budgeting has been a popular philosophy for most districts. Smarter school spending is another philosophy to increase student achievement during times of greater expectations and greater budget constraints. Merrill uses smarter school spending, and it takes the guesswork out of doing things because that's the way we've always done them. In my district, if a practice is not research-based with positive results, you probably won't find us investing in it. Please check out the 2 videos on the 2 links on this slide. And finally, referendums are an important part of every district's strategy in moving forward, simply based on great expectations for students and the constraints of budgets. And so we must go to our taxpayers, and Merrill is certainly no different. You'll see some of the things that are important to include anytime you're considering a referendum and that process. I did include a video of myself from our April 2018 referendum in which we were successful. And I believe in the video I mentioned that the statistics from our survey came back that 62% of our voters would favor our referendum, which was $2.5 million for each year for 4 years. And that was strictly on an operational basis. And in fact, our taxpayers responded, and they came back and passed our referendum with 62.7%, I believe, was the margin. So the team that we hired did an excellent job of surveying our community, and they were very accurate with their questions and spot on with what they felt would be a successful referendum campaign. And the fact is, too, that even with our referendum, we will still have to go back out in April of 2022, 4 years later, despite our plans right now to reconsolidate our district and to close one of our elementary buildings even prior to that referendum. That's real important to mention because our taxpayers need to understand that we need to be fiscally responsible. And I do not want to, in a declining enrollment district, give the taxpayers an idea that we're going to continue with business as usual. Thank you very much for the successful referendum, and then come back at them in 4 years and ask for a huge increase in our tax rate. And so being fiscally responsible finds us having to close one of the elementary buildings, and it's going to be much easier to go back to our taxpayers and say, we've been fiscally responsible, we've answered declining enrollment, and we're trying to keep those dollars that we're asking you for down to a minimum because we're doing everything we possibly can in our power before we have to turn to the taxpayers with a referendum. So enjoy the video, and thank you very much. Your next slide is your last slide, and that's in case you have any questions at all. Thank you.